Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of I Lost It at the Movies, and we have here Mas Lucky Kuswandi. He is a director, writer. He has helmed some of our familiar favorites like Galia dan Ratna, Ali dan Ratu Queens, Dear David, and some of your older ones, In the Absence of the Sun, Madame X. What am I missing?
The new one.
Oh yeah, the upcoming one indeed. So I have him as my first guest today, and we met through the New York production of Ratu Ratu Queens. I remember not knowing who he was at the beginning, and then I came to one of your earlier table reads, and I completely ignored you whenever you walked past, and then someone just told me like, "That's Masluki Kuswandi. That's like who you should know on this project," and yeah. So we connected even more when we were in New York, and we talked a lot about movies, and surprisingly, we connect. And so I was like, you have to be my first guest. Like I insisted, just because also you're so funny too as a person. That's why I'm like, I need to have him here. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, Masluki.
Okay, thank you, Ken. Super excited for this show.
I know.
I Lost It at the Movies. What a great title.
Oh, thank
Do
you.
you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So actually, I was reading the book when we were in New York, and then I left the book. I Lost It at the Movies by Pauline Kael. Yes, that book. So I left that book by the TV in our apartment, and then I remember Masuki was in the apartment. He was like, "Oh, wait, who's reading this book?" Pauline Kael. And then dari situ kita ngobrol banyak kayak tentang Pauline Kael tentang cinema, and then months later after shooting, I'm like, I think I need to make a podcast. Like there needs to be an avenue for film lovers, not only filmmakers, to find out what their favorite actors are watching. What we'll find out what movies inspired their favorite director, stuff like that. And so we talked a lot about it. And then you have been like a supporter throughout this, and you were pushing me to do this a lot. Why were you pushing me?
Well, because I think, sebagai pembuat film, aku selalu ngerasa kita tuh mulai sebagai penonton gitu. Dan I think we love movies and then we become filmmakers. So when you talk about I Lost It at the Movies, it makes me think like, oh my God, when was the last time did I
Right.
really lose it in the movies?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was that experience like?
Yeah.
And that's kind of reminds me back to why I become filmmaker in the first place. Because sometimes you get lost, right?
Yeah.
Gitu. Jadi, I think it's a good idea. And
That feeling, right? Kayak you're right. Semuanya itu pasti starts with being in an audience.
betul.
Yeah. So here's how it goes in this podcast. So I sent him a letter a week ago almost. So basically, it explains the angle of this podcast and the title and all that jazz. And then at the end, I have two questions written for my guests for them to ruminate prior coming to the podcast. So the questions are: what was the first movie that made you lose it at the movies? And have you lost it at the movies recently? And if so, what movie did that for you? So he had the chance to think about his answers, and let's talk about the answer to the first question. You answered The Lion King, which when I saw the answer, I was like, this is perfect. Like the perfect movie to start this podcast. Like my brother's childhood favorite. Kaya there's a story kaya my mom said my brother can only eat in front of the TV watching Lion King when he was like 3 or 4.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like a really personal movie for me and my family. So yeah, please tell me about your choice. Like, what was it? What is it about Lion King? When did you first see it? Who were you with? How old were you? Everything.
Okay, so why The Lion King? I'm talking about the 1994 animated version, yeah?
Yes, the OG.
Yeah, the OG.
Yes. Of course.
I think because I still fully remember when I was like 12, I think,
Yeah.
or 13, and I was sitting in the cinema
Mm-hmm.
and it got dark, and then that Elton John
Period.
song came up,
Yes.
and you see the sunrise,
Always. Oh my God, I
and
know.
you're like
Chills.
immediately transfixed into the
Yes.
moment and
Right.
into the grandeur of the moment,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you just got swept away immediately into
Immediately.
this
So right.
beautiful raw world that actually speaks a lot about like really mature themes that
Right.
I wasn't expecting,
Right.
you
And then you
know.
were like what, 13, 14, around that
Probably around that
age?
age, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, even sampai sekarang I rewatch it with my nephew, and then yeah, once that intro starts and then yeah, that
Circle of
the
life.
circle of life, it's like, oh shoot, this is like this. First of all, it got sad for me. I think watching it with my nephew, it got
Mm-hmm.
really sad. Kaya, oh wow, kaya this is like it. It has given me like a completely different meaning, like a new meaning. Watching it with my nephew, like, oh, this is it, like the circle of life, right? But then when I was little, itu aku kaya aku lewat aja. Like when I was a kid, okay, okay, not my cup of tea. I was more of like Brad's, like Disney
Mm-hmm.
girly stuff. So Lion King was like, okay. And then in high school, I saw it again. I'm like, oh, no wonder this is like, crowned as one of the greatest animations of all time. Because like you said, it does not only excel in animation, but it also excel in storytelling thematically, right? Like it's like they're able to talk about something very heavy, very mature, tapi bisa masuk ke anak kecil, like that's just cool, I think.
Yeah, I think the film forces you to confront like death. That's the first thing,
Right,
right?
right. Heavy stuff,
And in the
actually.
film, it's like the death of the father,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's just apa ya? Um, it doesn't shy away from that, and
Right,
it kind of tells you that
right,
this is just part of that circle.
right, right,
Like
right, right.
the joy and
Yeah.
also the despair, like they come hand in hand.
Do you think it's like a movie made for? Okay, do you think like when you were 13 or 14, was it a perfect age, or you think that this could work for smaller kids like my nephew? He's like 3 when he started watching it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, when I was 13, yes, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, for
When
sure.
you're much younger, I don't know. I
Yeah, right.
mean,
Tapi the hard thing is it's like animation, so and the songs are catchy as
right.
hell. Kayak I don't know why ada kayak ada spellnya gitu ya, the songs kayak sampai sekarang orang masih gampang gampang mau dengerin, mau nyanyiin. Tapi that's the thing when I was watching it with my nephew, kayak he kept asking about Scar. Kayak, oh dia kakaknya Mufasa, apa saudaranya Mufasa, tapi kok dia jahat.
Mm-mm.
Terus dia kenapa dia mati? So it's like very tough subjects for like kids, but then it is meant for kids. And I think kayak I love it when like kids love The Lion King. You know what I mean? Like their parents are raising them right. Anyways, well, yeah, talking. I mean, I think the way I see it, for you, this movie affected you thematically.
Yeah, absolutely. I think ada beberapa momen sih yang buat gue tuh kena banget gitu. Selain kematian Mufasa ya,
Yeah.
tapi juga ketika Simba berusaha, just forget about it. I'm not confronting this. I'm not dealing with
Right.
this
For years he
for
did that.
years.
Yeah.
Gitu.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's kind of part of grief, right?
Right.
Like one of the
Right.
steps is like denial.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So he kind of went through it, dan maksudnya akhirnya dia diingetin kayak emang ini jalur yang harus lo pilih
Right.
gitu.
Right.
Dan itu kayak it really hits home for me gitu,
Yeah.
karena it speaks about apa ya, when you're like a teen and you have to make a choice,
Right. Right.
of where you
Right.
want to go,
Yeah. Yeah.
and kayak where you want to go is something scary,
Right.
tapi itu
Right.
sesuatu yang emang necessary for you.
Yeah.
I thought like I mean, I didn't realize all this back then.
Right.
You know, tapi kan itu subconsciously kind of
Right.
like shapes you gitu.
That
Jadi
is, yeah.
jadi gue suka banget sih di situnya, dan juga kayak ketika ya of course the ghost of the father appears,
Right,
you
right,
know.
right. Sad shit.
Dan kayak oh my god, that scene. Dan kayak dia ngingetin kayak remember, you know, kayak remember, basically remember your roots gitu.
That is some crazy stuff.
Dan buat gue tuh kayak mungkin karena I grew up like I'm a Chinese Indonesian, dan maksud gue I grew up in an era yang tidak apa ya menghonor my roots because of the repression
Right.
that happened gitu. Jadi kayak ketika filmnya ngomongin soal you know we sticking up to you know who we are,
Right.
you know it makes me kayak question sebenarnya gue tuh siapa ya gitu.
Oh,
Then what are my
wow.
roots? Then how do I carry that gitu? My ancestors.
Yeah.
Kan
Yeah.
sometimes gue ngerasa kayak semakin ke belakang kayak kita makin disconnected dengan
Roots. Yeah.
our ancestors,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Kayak
I agree.
where we came from
Yeah.
gitu.
Yeah.
Dan buat gue itu ternyata penting. And somehow The Lion King actually managed to speak about that, tapi in a very entertaining way.
I
you know,
know,
in a very
no.
approachable way.
It's like an incredible achievement, that movie, I think. That's crazy. I mean, you picked it, pasti it made such an impact to you. Mungkin the thing that I'm curious now is I want to know if the Lion King has like an apparent influence on your work now, at least thematically, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think thematically, like all my works always speak about the idea of who we are and the idea of identity,
Right.
and also what is a home.
Right.
You know that
Right.
I think
Wow.
it's quite apparent. I think
Yeah, yeah,
without me purposely
Right.
or realizing
right.
gitu, kayak film pertamaku Madam X is a transgender superhero.
Yeah. Love.
Right? So like they question about, you know, do they belong, and is
Right.
this the world that refuses their existence? Is that something that they want to fight for?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my god, now I'm realizing it. Yeah, like your kayak most of your movies deal with that kaya identity, right?
Right.
Yes. And The Lion King is mostly deals about that, like who you are. What is a king, right?
Right.
What is a son?
Right.
What is a mom? What is a dad? What is an uncle even?
Yeah,
if we're
because
talking about the
I
villain.
think when we talk about like, you know, what is a father, what is a son, like these are labels,
Right,
right?
right,
That
right.
we define ourselves.
Yeah.
But at the same time, kaya what is a family gitu, it's also a label.
Right,
Gitu loh.
right.
So when we're able to see beyond that, I think that's interesting.
What matters is like
What
the underneath.
matters? Yeah, kayak misalnya
Yeah.
like in Alien Ratu-Ratu Queens, you know, it's like he's seeking for his biological mother,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Who's not really
Shoot.
his mother.
Yeah.
Like his
Right.
mothers are the four women, you know, who
Right.
nurture
The
him.
surrogate mothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always believe that, you know, if we just kind of like look beyond, you know, these
Yeah.
labels, I think
There's where the story is.
yes.
Yeah. Well, the thing about, I mean, what I love about you, I mean, especially after we've gotten to know each other, itu apa ya? I always thought of for me personally, nonton film Indonesia itu aku nggak segitunya, I can't put a name on the face kadang-kadang kalau ngelihat nama direkturnya, nama siapanya di credits gitu kan. So I watch Indonesian films based on popularity, trends, kayak what people are talking about, the chatters. Jadi Ali Ratu-Ratu Queens, I watched it when I was in New York. Isn't that crazy? When I was in New
And
York,
you're like, this is not New York.
actually, you know what? We'll get into that later. But yeah, I watched it with my friends. I remember the first time we were like, there's this one movie that talks about like immigrant life in New York City, and I think it's perfect for us. So I watched it and I was like, I remember a few friends were crying karena it, like you said, it just, I think one of the greatest experiences that a movie can give you is when it hits home,
Right.
right? It's like, holy shit, like I remember my own home. Okay, I remember my own mom, my dad. It's like, it's crazy how my family is similar to this like family on the screen, or my personal experience like away from my family is like the same as this international student living somewhere gitu. Apa ini? So that's like one of the things yang menurut aku, I keep coming back to movies in general, right? That feeling. And I find that your work is itu mostly juga tentang itu. That's why I love it. Like I always tell my friends like I don't really like movies yang kayak that are so far from home. Like it just I just I prefer it to talk about, you know, yeah, everyday life, like the people around you kayak gitu. That is more interesting to me
Right.
at least.
And I think the idea of, well, what is a home, right?
Right. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, for like a film like The Lion King, is it about the land? You
right,
know?
right.
Or
But
it's
the
a,
earth, like the whole
right.
yeah.
But I mean, it's a home. Does it have to be a place?
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I mean, what is a home to you? Is it Jakarta? Is it New York?
multiple.
Is it,
Yeah.
you know, your group of friends over there?
Right.
Or what
Right.
is it gitu? Itu yang buat gue sangat apa ya, interesting, dan gue selalu explore sih karena jawabannya belum pasti.
And it's like it moves. Kayak home, I think for me moves. Kayak depending on where you are in life, at what stage. Kayak 2 years ago I called New York home, tapi now like 2 years later aku kayak nope, Jakarta is definitely home.
Yeah, so this is a weird story, but
Please tell.
gue pernah kayak ketemu this like, is it Colombian woman or something?
Yeah,
Who can kind of read you,
psychic.
kind of like a psychic.
Okay.
And then she said something like, "You were a gypsy to me."
Stop.
So I was like, oh, so that's why I was always looking for, you know, a place to stay, right?
I'm sorry, that is so funny.
Yeah, so I guess I was like, apa, nomaden istilahnya ya.
Yeah. Wow.
And then, but then she says, like, for me, like, it's very important for my home to always move.
She said that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's why, like, when you said
Right,
that,
yeah,
gue
yeah,
jadi
yeah.
kayak inget
Kayak mirip kata-kata
mbak-mbak ini,
iya.
heeh.
Oh my god.
Karena dan maksud dia home move itu bukan kayak lo harus pindah.
Iya,
gitu. Tapi
iya.
kayak misalnya, you know, when you travel, and then you bring
Right.
some kind of energy back. So it's always kind of like
Oh.
moving, and like for me, kayak I always have to read. I always have to know what's going on gitu. Karena it's part of like nurturing, kind of like
Right.
your home gitu. Jadi kayak home itu nggak bisa sesuatu yang stagnan.
Jadi every time kayak the idea of home for you expands.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. That is really interesting. What the hell? When was this? Like,
I don't know, years ago.
of course you would bring in the story. So, I mean, we've talked about The Lion King and, you know, the idea of home, migration, grief, all that stuff. So I want to talk about your second pick. You picked The Brutalist for the question, yang the most recent movie. So The Brutalist was released last year, directed by Brady Corbet. So you shared with me a bit. I haven't seen the movie, unfortunately. It's 3 hours and a half. I will get to it after this episode, I promise. But yeah, I have not seen The Brutalist, but it won. What did it win at the Oscars? Best something. Music.
Yeah.
Music, right? Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the cinematography, it was nominated for a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, the actor, Adrian Brody.
Oh, yeah, shoot. How can I forget that long ass speech? But So you explained to me briefly about this choice. You shared with me that you resonate with it because it's about an artist being forced to work into a system. And I'm very, very interested about that actually. So I have a couple of questions. Uh, First, how do you identify yourself in this movie? Like through which conflict or character or any particular scene that holy shit, I lost it at the movie moment? Yeah, you can answer that first actually.
Well, I'm sorry for picking this film because
It's okay.
it's long.
No, I have to watch this anyway. So
But I just can't remember the last time I watched a film with so much ambition. Like you feel it. You feel like
right.
this director is just he goes for it.
Wow.
And you immediately think of Citizen Kane,
Oh wow.
of The Godfather, like those great
Oh
American
wow.
epics. And you can't deny
Uh huh.
that maybe, I mean, regardless you like it or not, but you cannot deny that its scope and ambition kind of mirrors,
Oh wow.
those like great American
Yeah.
cinema.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So I haven't seen something like that in a long time. So when I watched it, like from the beginning of basically this is a story about an architect played by
Okay.
Adrian Brody. His name is Laszlo Toth, and he was like a Holocaust survivor,
Mm-hmm.
and he came to the U.S. for the American dream.
Yeah.
So when he came out of his boat, and the first thing we see is the Liberty, but upside down.
Oh wow. That's the first thing you see on the
That's
movie?
Well, not the first shot, but
Okay.
like the first opening scene.
Okay, okay.
And you're like, okay, this guy's onto something about
Right, right.
talking about the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
Tapi terus, so basically this guy is an architect, and then he got hired by this rich kind of like, patron
Okay.
who asked him to build a community center with a church in it.
Yeah.
And the story is about this guy's struggle in building the community center.
Oh, okay.
And the struggle is a lot of like artistic struggle, but also the struggle to deal with um like the capitalistic side of art.
Right, right, right.
And I thought that was like really fascinating
Hmm.
and something that I totally understand and
Right.
I totally relate, because I think architecture and film is very similar,
Hmm.
right?
Elaborate, please.
Karena kan dengan architecture, like it's a combination between art and technical and money,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
all three. And I think film kan juga gitu.
Yung gitu.
Then
Right.
architecture, you start with a blueprint, in the film it's
Right.
like a script,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the architect is not the one who builds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's kind of like the director,
Right, right.
you
Kaya
know,
the brain.
the brain,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
has to kind of direct everyone.
Right, right, right.
And it's a lot of little pieces.
Interesting that like yeah, apa namanya Brady Corbet chose an architect as the main character, don't you think?
Yeah, I think he, well, obviously this is something that resonates with him, right?
Of course, yeah,
Obviously gitu.
obviously.
Tapi sebenarnya itu yang paling menarik, and spoiler alert,
It's okay.
maksudnya kita ngelihat kegilaan si arsitek ini kan, dengan kayak his mad genius
Right,
side,
right.
kayak he wants to make it a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
itu nggak bisa di-achieve, kayak dia harus ngambil batu dari Itali, batu yang disukain oleh Michelangelo, maksudnya tuh
Right.
sampai segitunya gitu. And then he got
Right.
abused by his millionaire whatever. Dan he never really see it come alive at the end gitu. Tapi
Oh.
at the end of the film yang buat gue tuh bagus banget, itu ceritanya tuh kita ke, I think it's like I don't know, is it a Venice Biennale or something along that line.
Mm-hmm.
Dan ada kayak Someone Like You basically di
Okay.
situ yang bikin retrospektif terhadap karyanya si arsitek ini.
Oh.
Dan dari retrospektif itu ternyata diketahui kenapa dia segitunya membangun community center ini, karena ini menggambarkan trauma dia dulu di concentration camp. And we didn't know that until the end.
Right. Wow.
Jadi buat gue tuh kayak
that part you didn't know until the end.
Well, we know that he's a Holocaust survivor, but we
Right.
didn't know why he built it this way.
Right,
Kenapa
right.
jendelanya harus begini? Kenapa ini harus begini? Gitu. You just see him as
Oh.
like this mad, crazy artist,
Stop. Wow.
and there's the money guy yang kayak oke, ya udah pokoknya gue bayar sekian, gue nggak mau lebih dari ini nggak bisa gitu-gitu. Tapi at the end you realize that ini tuh cara dia deal with his own trauma.
Jesus.
You know, dan
Yeah.
itu tuh buat gue kayak keren banget. Karena
Yeah,
kayak
yeah.
when we make movies, you know, especially we go into like the commercial route, right?
Yeah.
Like you make movies buat, you know, kalau buat di bioskop atau buat streaming services or whatever. Kayak iya ada expectation of, you know, the capital of commerce.
Right,
You know,
right.
they need to make the money back.
Yeah.
Filmnya harus seperti ini, you know, kayak sekarang yang lagi tren apa, you know, as a creator lo kind of like have to navigate all that. Tapi yang all these people doesn't know kan sebenarnya root dari kreasi ini tuh dari mana gitu loh.
Right. Why? The why.
The
Yeah,
why.
The intention, the artist intention.
The artist intention
Yeah,
itu
yeah,
kan
yeah.
selalu lost.
Betul.
Ya kan,
Right,
at the end ya udah lo cuman ngelihat karyanya.
Yeah, yeah.
Gitu, yang mungkin karya ini udah termodifikasi
Udah banyak.
dari campur
campur
tangan
tangan,
1000
right.
orang
Yeah,
atau
yeah,
berbagai
yeah.
pihak
Yeah.
gitu. Tapi no one knows kenapa ini sepenting itu buat kita.
Right.
Iya kan?
Right. Do you think it is necessary untuk audience tuh tahu sepenting apa itu?
Nah itu maksudnya unfortunately enggak.
Right.
I mean when you go into a building designed by a beautiful architect for example, kan lo juga nggak tahu sebenarnya kenapa dia bikinnya seperti itu.
Right.
I mean you can sense it, you can feel it,
Yeah.
you know, but you don't fully know gitu. Yang tahu
Right.
kan cuman
Abstraknya kita nggak tahu abstraknya dia.
betul,
Right.
atau like you know you go to MoMA and you see Jackson Pollock's one,
Right.
you know,
Right.
kayak it's so overwhelming.
Right.
You feel the overwhelming, but you don't really know exactly kayak kecuali lo mempelajari dia ya.
Yeah.
Gitu.
That's like a different case.
Iya, that's a different case.
Yeah.
Gitu. Tapi kalau nggak mempelajari dia, lo nggak tahu kayak kenapa semua catnya kayak gitu,
Right.
kenapa bentuknya seperti itu.
Iya,
Gitu.
iya,
Tapi
iya.
you can feel it.
Feel it for sure.
Like you can
Right.
get lost
Right.
at it without
Right.
knowing the
All
intention.
the intentions. You're right.
Dan maksudnya gue suka banget The Brutalist because it speaks about that. Dan itu sesuatu yang jarang banget dibahas gitu di film.
Iya,
you know?
ini kayak lu maksudnya nge-argue tentang itu sih tadi pertanyaan aku, maksudnya kayak how necessary is it? Karena as an audience kayak you watch The Brutalist and at the ending kayak Masuki tahu nih the fact dia itu he needed to do this karena dia pengen proses his own grief, tapi dan itu kan pasti kalau audience yang nggak tahu konteks udah ke effect, tapi yang audience yang tahu konteks menurut aku multiply that effect, right? So dan menurut aku kayak the more kayak orang punya efek yang double gitu dari an art, itu menurut aku kayak more successful, I
agree.
guess, right? So makanya itu tadi kayak this is very interesting and it's like crazy how di frame-nya tuh bisa kayak dia dari awal sampai akhir nggak tahu, penontonnya nggak even tahu sedetail itu dan akhirnya dikasih tahu. Jadi as an audience and as an audience tuh kayak lo bareng-bareng gitu taunya. There's no
Betul.
like, you know, there's no like gue tahu ini duluan, gue tahu no, kayak bener-bener bareng-bareng and it's like that ending like oh my god, that is so heartbreaking. Like, you know, I get why this is so important for the character.
Betul, dan sebenarnya menarik adalah ketika kita nonton 3 jam dia berusaha membangun tempat ini gitu kan. It's kind of similar anyway. Maksud gue tuh ketika kita ngelihat dia berusaha membangun sesuatu gitu, tapi at the end apakah orang akan menikmati itu atau enggak, itu tuh udah enggak jadi bagian dia.
Lepas tangan aja ya pas sudah
Sebagai si kreator gitu. Dan maksud gue itu yang buat gue bagus banget karena ketika kita membuat sesuatu film dalam hal ini, emang ketika udah selesai tuh kayak it's not ours anymore, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird, tapi you know suddenly some TikToker starts talking shit about your film, but that's not. Ya udah gitu, it's not even ours. Yang kita miliki hanyalah that intention.
And especially,
right?
yeah, Right. That's like the one thing that
Yeah,
will not be taken away from you.
exactly.
Wow.
When we create it, when
Right.
we know why, and why is this everything to us, itu yang
Right.
punya cuman kita. Tapi ketika udah jadi produknya,
Right. Like you don't know what's gonna happen.
you never know what's gonna happen. People, you can win an Oscar, you can win a
Right.
Razzie,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. There's no in between. Actually, there's no in between. It's either the Oscars or Razzies. Anyways. Um. Yeah. Anyways, kaya with, I mean, you're relating to apa namanya yourself being an artist in this climate, and I would say this is a turbulent climate. I think. I say outside of the arts, politically, economically, everything is just so messed up. So please, Kaya, share one of your specific concerns about being an artist in today's world. Like you just mentioned about TikTok critics. How do they, affect your movies? How do they affect the way you create and the way you put out a movie?
Well, I think menyambung dengan ketika film kita udah jadi, itu udah bukan milik kita dan itu udah milik publik.
Yeah.
I think regardless of, an amazing review from the New York Times or a shitty review from a TikTok movie reviewer,
Yeah.
I don't want to generalize. Maybe ada yang amazing.
There are some good ones.
Iya kan?
Yeah.
Gitu. Tapi itu udah nggak matter sih. You know what I mean?
Right. Wow.
Karena it's done. It's not in my
Damn.
control anymore.
Are you a control freak?
Trying not to.
So like doesn't it like depress you? Your work kayak constantly, okay, gue buat film ini and then once the producer has it, it's like yaudah gitu keluar. Aren't you like stressed?
Yes, at first.
Okay.
Tapi terus kayak you're only stressed when you define yourself based on that, right?
Right. Right.
I mean, if you choose not to define yourself based on
Your work.
our work,
Right. Right.
then it's easier.
But I feel like dulu waktu SMA gitu ya, my desires untuk jadi artis itu ada egoisnya juga. Like being an artist itu menurut aku hand in hand sama attention. Dulu aku understandingnya. And I wanted to be seen by being an artist. That was the idea, right? Tapi so I feel like it took you a while to finally ada di headspace sekarang kalau misalkan okay, you know what? At this point it's like udah, that's just how it works. Right? I feel like did you get used to it?
Yeah, of
Yeah?
course. I mean, I made several films, so
Right.
I went through a lot
Right,
in terms
right,
of like, being loved, being hate, being praised, being trashed.
Trashed?
I went through it all already.
Right.
you know.
Right.
So jadi kayaknya emang itu sesuatu yang perlu dilalui aja.
When was your first movie?
2010.
2010, so that's like 15 years in. But before you were already working in the industry or?
Udah tapi kayak short films.
Oh my God, 15 years ago. So 15 years in, can you say what, by film keberapa that you like, okay, this is just work, this is like routine, this roll out itu kayak gini, itu by film keberapa? Okay, I fully grasped this ecosystem gitu.
That's a good question. Kayaknya slowly aja sih kan.
Okay.
Gitu kayak dari setiap karya yang dirilis itu
Okay.
tuh kayak ada takeaways gitu. Tapi yang gue pelajari adalah instead of getting caught up into it, I think it's easier to be just curious. Gitu. Kayak misalnya, for example, like my last film before this new one, Dear David, it was quite controversial in many ways, but it was widely trashed too, gitu, because of the portrayal of the main character. Tapi buat gue kayak, oh ya udah, I can choose to be miserable about it and angry and start typing furiously.
Right, and defending yourself. Yeah.
Or I can just choose to be curious. Kaya, why would they think that way? You know what I mean?
Right.
What does that say about us now?
Right.
You know,
I
where
mean,
are we as a society?
right.
You know, and I think when you become more curious that way, then first of all, it's more interesting, right?
Right.
To study. Dan juga itu akan ngebantu kita ke depannya gak sih? Gitu.
Dan menurut aku kayak memang kalau film itu seru banget kalau didiscuss dari perspektif kayak anthropology-nya. Ya nggak sih, kayak different responses from different demographics. Contohnya, I remember this very much waktu itu lagi berapa kali lagi kalau kita udah mau rap, udah mau cut gitu waktu di New York, masuk itu selalu pertama, he was just very very tired, right? It was like long days on end, like summer in New York, it was crazy. Terus kayak I don't know, I just remember Mas Lucky being like, it's fine, like it's just a movie, it's just a show. And I feel like as a creator itu untuk bisa ngomong kayak gitu, I feel like there's like security juga karena you do take your work seriously, you do take your arts very very seriously. I know there's like a lot of research and a lot of thoughts that were put into a single shot, right? Tapi kayak you manage to make it to not make it your life gitu. Like you always said kayak udahlah, it's just like a film, like it's just a movie, chill, right? And I think that's what I really like about you and your attitude, and like itu menurut aku jadi yang kayak, oh my god, an artist itu is not only about what they can bring into the mediums, right? It's also about how they are in real life and how they look at the world. I think that's also equally important, dan itu menurut aku kayak ya lebih lebih seru aja sih untuk diomongin.
Well, thank you for that.
Of course.
For the observation.
You know how I feel about you.
Tapi emang itu bener sih, dan maksud gue nggak dari dulu begitu ya.
Okay.
Kayak I had to go through a lot.
Oh right,
untuk
right.
nyampe ke titik itu.
Okay.
Gitu. Tapi emang yang gue pelajari sekarang adalah kayak ya you only gonna suffer if you categorize yourself. You're only gonna suffer if you make something as your identity. And still talking about identity.
Right.
Maksudnya selama pencarian apa itu identitas, ternyata dengan kita menaruh identitas, that's gonna make you suffer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're
Isn't
limiting
that weird?
yourself, yeah.
Jadi kayak misalnya, okay, yes, I make movies, you know, I'm a writer,
Yeah.
I'm a filmmaker. When somebody asks me who I am, that's probably my first answer.
Right.
Bener nggak?
Right.
Iya kan? Tapi kayak I don't want that to be my first answer anymore.
Oh my god.
You know, like,
yeah.
I just want to be me.
Me, Lucky Kuswandi.
Yes.
Right?
Kayak unattached dengan,
Yeah.
you know, kayak filmmaker, nominator Piala Citra, Cannes, you know, all these external whatever.
Right.
Gitu.
Right.
I don't want to be related aja ke situ gitu.
Damn.
You know, karena when you start seeing yourself, oh my god, I'm an Oscar winner.
It's different.
Then like everything
for
you're
sure.
gonna make,
Right.
it's gonna be haunted by that.
Karena I feel like as much as you say kayak, no, this doesn't affect me, like this award will not change me atau gimana, I feel like kayaknya enggak deh, pasti kayak knowing that you have that kind of award dan kayak that credibility, that prestige, kayak you are someone, itu pasti it changes you. There's no way it doesn't change you, right? So like,
and it's only gonna make you suffer because lo
right.
akan terpressure obviously.
Yeah.
Ya kan? Dan oh my god, my next film gua harus begini,
Right.
instead of just letting your next film be the next film, whatever it is, right?
Kayak I remember this
It's like, for example, like you have a child dan anak pertama lo itu, oh my god,
Yeah.
gitu, kayak kejuaraan di mana-mana lah.
Yeah.
You know, kayak dia jago ini, jago itu, jago itu, jago itu.
Like my brother
And then when you're gonna have another child,
and me. A mess.
you know, and then that child is not like your first child. Lo ngerti maksud gue kan? Kan akhirnya kasihan anaknya gak sih?
Kasihan anaknya.
Iya, jadi gue juga
Jadi
kayak kasihan
pressured.
filmnya gitu. Karena
Right,
filmnya itu
right.
dibentuk dengan semua persepsi yang urusannya dengan who I am.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I
Oh
mean?
my god. So cinema is just like a long way of like finding your identity.
Sebenarnya iya.
Film work, writing, at the end of the day. Kayaknya itu gak
And
sih?
you said it, like, yes, we all want to be seen. We all want to be
Yeah,
understood.
yeah.
It's very human.
Very, very human.
Gitu.
I think the most important thing is like, of course you want to be seen, you want to be this, you have ego. I think the most important thing is like to know when you stop, right? To know when you like tarik diri lo balik lagi and like, okay, I did that, but like the next thing, I don't know if it's gonna be good or not. So, but I'm gonna try anyways. And if it fails, it's okay. And if it doesn't fail, then great. Maybe Oscar's bound. You know what I mean? Like no one knows.
Yeah. And I think when you look back at, you know, someone's works, itu kan lo bisa lihatlah gitu. Kayak misalnya when I look back at my own films, I don't really watch my own films after it's released.
Oh wow.
Because I feel like I'm done. Tapi when I look
wow.
back gitu, I can identify gitu loh kayak, oh, that was me when I was like, don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know,
right.
oh, that was me when I was trying so hard to fit
Right.
into the industry.
Right.
You know, oh, that was me when I'm kind of like playing with how far can I get away with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Jadi tuh kayak, I can see that.
So you really kayak see your film itu tuh in the filmmaking sense juga gak sih? Kayak maksudnya what was the circumstance that made me choose to have that shot or made me choose to kayak di sini aktrisnya instead of this gitu-gitu gak sih?
Betul.
Yeah, right. Well, talking about maksudnya kayak your stories and kayak film tentang apa segala macam, I think what's also a big factor kalau a director itu or any like artist pengen buat art itu tuh thinking about the audience, right? As a director, how much do you involve the audience in your process? And as early as writing ya, kayak you know, would you say stuff kayak penonton bakal maunya begini? That for me pertanyaan itu different with penonton ngerti nggak ya? Karena I would want my film to be accessible, right? I would want the audience to understand karena kalau terlalu esoteric, menurut aku, why are you even making a movie, right? So you would want your audience to understand. Tapi the questions yang kayak penonton bakal maunya gimana, or they would want the ending, how far do you care about your audience's tastes?
I do.
You do?
I do very much. Tapi bukan kayak apa yang penonton mau, tapi lebih ke apa ya? Bagaimana penonton ngelihat karakternya. And at that stage, how does the character feel, and how does the audience feel about the character?
Oh, okay.
And where do you want the audience to feel?
Oh,
So
okay.
jadi it's kind of like making a map kan. Gitu. Okay, at the beginning, I think it's important for the audience to empathize, for example, because this person is not very likable,
Right.
which is okay. Tapi what aspect is it that the audience can empathize so they can follow this person,
Right.
for example? Gitu. Jadi,
Okay.
and when I design, say, the scene, gitu, it's a lot to do with kayak how does the character feel? Why would they move to that corner of the room?
Right.
Is this
right.
person
right.
avoiding the situation?
Okay.
As long as all of that makes sense, then
Okay.
I think it's gonna make sense in the audience, right?
Okay.
Like you don't question dia kenapa tiba-tiba berdiri sih gitu.
Oh, okay. Jadi
Yeah,
lebih
obviously because he was
right.
being an ass.
Right,
and
right,
she
right.
wants to avoid.
So you make kayak the activities of the characters itu sangat obvious aja gak sih? Jadi kayak kayak how they move itu make sense. Is that what you're saying? Kayak
Yeah, everything has to make sense in like psychologically.
right. Even in the
Gitu.
space juga nggak sih
In the
make sense.
space.
Yeah.
Tapi juga kayak the design of the space.
Right.
It also has to make sense.
Kayak where the actor moves.
Yeah,
Stuff
tapi
like that.
juga kayak the curtains,
Oh, okay.
whatever. Gitu.
Yeah.
Everything has to come from the character. Dan selama itu semua menurut gue dibangun secara otentik, I'm pretty sure penonton akan ngikutin.
Okay.
Gitu aja sih.
Wow. So I think that's like a pretty simple observation from you. Kayak gitu aja penonton ngikutin gitu.
Iya, menurut
Wow.
gue gitu. Ya, not all of audience.
Right.
Maksudnya kita juga nggak bisa generalize gitu. Tapi ya mereka harus percaya aja sih sama worldnya dan mereka harus percaya sama karakternya.
But it should be that way. Kayak maksudnya it should be that simple, you know, like you're constructing a space and then you're trying to like show it to the audience. And how would that work, right? How would that communication work? It's like a dialogue, right? The screen
It is
and
a
the audience,
dialogue,
right?
yeah.
So like how do you like design it for it to work, right? On its own without you being in the room. Kaya I'm the director, this is how the movie goes. Jadi kayak the movie plays by itself and the audience gets what the movie is trying to say. That should be that simple, right?
Yeah, well, I guess that's why there's mise en scène.
Right. Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's all the tools that we have to design it
Right.
to make the audience feel a certain way.
Certain way. It's
Even if
amazing.
they don't realize it, right?
It's amazing. Like every inch counts in a frame.
Of course.
Right? That's what high school film class taught me. But true. Well, related to that, actually, I have this question. It's like a long question, but like, for me, you are someone who loves a good fun. You love beautiful things. You love a funny, spontaneous scene more than a thoroughly planned one. At least from what I got spending time with you. You are someone who is very present. Sometimes I think you are also stoic. Sometimes you just like don't respond. You don't move your face. You're funny. You're caring. So many cool traits, right? Combined in one. Does it feel like ako jilat masuki? Because if it does, it's true. Just kidding. But all that trait itu menurut aku semua translate di your work gitu kan. Kayak they're all earnest, heartwarming, often funny. Most times, okay, not most, but like a lot of times sad, you know? I'm always curious, kaya, how do you determine what is funny or what is sad, what feels like the right level of tragic, but not melodramatic? Simply, how do you create your scenes to reach the perfect cut? Or, what feels like the perfect cut for you, kaya, that is the perfect cut and I'm gonna stop there.
I think when in terms of like funny, I think comedy is a tragedy, right?
Yeah.
Like they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So I think the tragedy brings the truth and the reality to the comedy. So it's always
Right.
kind of like that combination and the duality of
Right.
things. Jadi kayaknya basically ketika when you cook,
Right.
right?
I do.
And dan maksud gue kan kadang-kadang kayak ini garam berapa banyak ya gitu. Lo bisa lihat di textbook Martha Stewart says 2 sendok gitu kan.
Or like eyeball.
Atau lo
You know? Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
right.
You know, like how funny this should be, how sad this should be. It's kind of like, you know.
Right. You sprinkle the salt in the right places and with the right amount.
Iya, dan maksudnya gue juga nggak bisa terlalu ngejelasin exactly how, because I don't
Right.
know. You know, it just comes from inside.
And it's different every time, right?
And it's different every time, and it's different with different directors. Karena
right.
kan kita punya we have different tastes, we
Yeah,
have different palette
Yeah.
gitu.
Period. So
Jadi-
it's all different. It's semuanya tergantung the time
Right.
and
I mean,
context.
if you know, Martha, I don't know why I'm talking about this story.
Love Martha. I love the Martha shout out. Like
I mean, if she says like this is how a lasagna should be made, right? Jadi kan kayak, tapi kalau gue yang bikin sama lo yang bikin pasti beda
Beda.
dong. Ya
It
nggak?
was very different. It was dry on top. No,
Itu sudah kita coba.
for context, we did make lasagna together,
Yes.
right, in New York, and
It was good.
The top layer was dry, but it was because I didn't have enough sauce. But other than that, it was really good, right?
It was excellent.
Anyways,
Yeah. Anyway.
back to movies.
Ya begitulah.
Okay, yeah. It makes sense. Tapi maksudnya kayak, I mean, for me, I'm not like, I can't speak as like a filmmaker or whatever. Tapi maybe the closest thing that I will get to making art is like me making covers in my room with my guitar only
Okay.
gitu. Kayak, if you open my photo booth right now, there would be like 10 videos of the same cover. Tapi yang dipilih tuh kadang-kadang kayak the first take or the second, it's weird. It's like random, right? Jadi kayak like you said, itu that apa ya? What do you, that's that mysterious. That's something mysterious yang kayak it's just instinctual,
Betul.
right? It's like it comes from there's no formula yang kayak it's because it's sometimes it's hard to explain why. Sometimes you can explain why. Then most of the time it's like, nah, it's just right.
Tapi kalau gue percaya, even if it's instinctual, it always comes from history,
Right.
right? Karena maksud gue kan kita kan menyimpan banyak history ya. Itu semua pasti ada efeknya gak sih?
Right.
Dan I'm not talking about cuman kayak trauma hidup atau apa,
Yeah.
tapi juga you go to museums, you look at art,
Right.
you know, you look at performance, you look at the theater, you look at movies. Itu semua kan kerekam in a way.
Right.
Jadi ketika kita lagi bikin sesuatu, tiba-tiba kayak muncul gitu loh.
Right. It's all kayak semuanya direkam semua terus kayak keluar aja.
Betul. Jadi makanya maksud gue yang paling penting tuh itunya kayak we just have to absorb a lot sih.
Right.
You know, everything. I think it's
Right.
important. Like, you know, read the news and
Right.
also like, I don't know.
Also, I thought you were focusing on talking about learning from past movies juga gitu kayak okay, there's this one movie yang kayak for me for example kayak I would watch this one movie yang kayak for me, oh my god, this is such a well written ending, perfectly timed, this and this. And if I were to direct, I would do kayak okay, if we're doing the ending aku bakal kayak that ending too made me feel like this. I feel like I should aim for that feeling to make for me to know that it's okay, it's the ending gitu loh. For me, I would do that. But what about you? Like, do you do something like that? Kayak, oh, I'm seeing images from this movie and I think I want to like adapt it to my work now.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Karena ketika di tahap kita ngedesain film kan pasti kita juga punya banyak you know, past references.
Yeah.
Homage.
Yeah.
You
Love
know,
when that happens and when it's like when it's the
bener.
right time. Yeah.
I think itu valid aja sih. Gitu.
Right,
You watch
right.
something like The Substance, I mean that's an homage to
Yeah.
the whole body horror genre from Cronenberg to Kubrick.
Right.
Gitu. And it's fine. It's still beautifully made.
It's
gitu.
still original. I think
It's still original.
yang kayak sayangnya itu sekarang banyak kayak references itu overused banget. Jadi yang kayak original and real and cool and benar-benar respectable tuh jadi yang kayak it becomes more aestheticized dibanding kayak I don't know like dibanding apa ya treat it the right way.
Betul.
Gitu, gimana
So
ya? Kayak lebih
basically kayak going back to your Lost at the Movies.
Yeah.
Siapapun bisa mengcopy bangunan yang dibikin si Laszlo in The Brutalist.
Right.
Right? It's just a building. Everyone can make something like that. Tapi yang nggak akan bisa direplika kan adalah his trauma, his grief, itu semua
soul.
yang his soul
Yeah.
yang menyebabkan dia come up with that.
Right.
Gitu sih. Jadi kayaknya you know everyone can copy, everyone can make, you know, like I'm the next whatever.
Yeah.
Gitu. Itu bisa aja, tapi kalau nggak ada itunya the root,
The root, yeah, the foundation.
the foundation
Right,
that
right.
has nothing to do with the result ya.
Right.
Resultnya kan cuma bentuk gitu.
Yeah.
Tapi foundationnya itu kalau itu kosong, then that building is nothing, right?
Period.
It's just a fake Birkin.
The Walmart Birkin. Yeah, right. Fuck. Okay, you know what? It's time for our last question.
Okay.
I feel like Mas Luki, more than a great director for me, you are. I think I will forever know you for your personality. At least from my personal experience, kaya watching you on set for a month and a half, seeing you work, being stretched and pulled creatively from all sides, and you managed to put in fun and some good laughs. Well, to me, you didn't have any like tense behavior or whatever. Kaya we made lasagna together. Apa namanya? Kaya you always wanted to rap as early as you can. Like there's no need for like, you know, unnecessary time on set. It's fucking hot. Yeah, for a director, kaya you prioritize real life more than your work, and I find that very very cool. And I feel like if I want to become a director, that's how I want my attitude to be. So what made you choose real life over work? What made you prioritize life?
Well, because I went through a period of my life when I only prioritize work.
Right.
And when shit happens to the work,
And your world falls apart.
then everything falls apart, right?
Right.
So I think my attitude about it, like creating a distance dan juga kayaknya sangat penting untuk punya boundaries dengan diri kita yang sisi itu.
Wow.
Gitu. Jadi ketika you build that boundary, then apapun yang terjadi di situ is not gonna affect yang ini gitu kan.
Right.
I mean, you can still have amazing lunch,
Yes.
you know, dan nyiram tanaman lo and play with your cats.
Yeah, right.
You know, itu juga as important as your meeting with Paramount Pictures.
Right.
You know,
True.
they're both equally penting gitu sih.
Right. And that is like what a wise person would say. Well, you know what? That is all that we have.
Okay,
For
what
today.
a great conversation.
I know
Ken.
I've enjoyed this conversation. You are very funny as always. Well, yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you on the next episode. And thank you, Mas Luki, for coming.
Thank you.
Amazing. Goodbye.